Hi, welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 93. It looks like Q4 for Tesla will be nothing but explosive. And Ford CEO Jim Farley were out saying we can't ignore Tesla anymore. And Tesla will deliver some semi-trucks this year. And now it's Daimler's turn to get busted for 8 illegal emission control devices. And Volkswagen want to catch up with today's Tesla's production times in 2026. But Tesla in China is making unbelievable production numbers in October. But Tesla China has more cooking in China than just production numbers. All this and much more to come on today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
And Elon Musk is selling Tesla stocks. Ooh. And yes, I know everyone except me has been tweeting like crazy and making videos about Elon selling 10% of his stocks position. But I just don't think this is very interesting. This changes nothing. In 2 years, no one would even remember he did that. And it looked like he had to sell some stocks anyway because he had some stock options that was going to expire. And remember, Elon doesn't really have a lot of cash. He gets no salary, only stocks. So for him to pay off taxes, he also has to sell some stocks. So nothing crazy here or anything that means anything. Yes, the stock always reacts when Elon makes a tweet. That's just how it works. And the stock made a huge drop, but still over $1,000. And the stock price going down like this and then back up again is just gonna look like another bump on the road when we hit $2,000. Like all other bumps on the road we have seen over the last 10 years. This changes nothing. And the Wall Street analysts are still raising their target on Tesla. Wedbush raises their Tesla bull case from $1,500 to $1,800. And with all the good things Tesla has going on right now, the stock is bound to continue to rise when the mainstream media is done flipping out about Elon selling some stock. Because remember, who is investing in Tesla?
But the quality of investor that people will see, when people see who's investing in an IPO, it's the smartest, most long-term thinking investors in the market. It's really an amazing set of investors.
Yes, so true. Just look at this little comparison from TipRank. The best, aka the smartest investors, all have a buy rating on Tesla even now, and the dumbest investors on TipRank all have a sell rating. Yep. Smart people invest long-term in Tesla, and therefore short, small bumps on the road on the way up higher means nothing. Also because Q4 is shaping up to be a quarter that will blow people's minds and expectation like never before. One of the things people are not expecting is the crazy ramp Tesla is doing in China. Do you remember when we were just so impressed with Tesla China's production numbers in September with 56,000 units? Well, Tesla China just did it again. In October, they delivered about 54,391 units. 40,666 was exported and only 13,725 was for domestic sales. So be ready for Gordon Johnson to tell everyone that Tesla sales in China has collapsed because they sold 52,000 last month, but now it's down to only 14,000. Doomed. But China delivered almost 55,000 cars in October. That is amazing. That's about 10 to 12,000 above Street's estimates. And if we compare that with the first month of the last quarter, that is about 22,000 higher than the July numbers. Just to put that in perspective, when we are talking about EVs, that is probably the amount that Ford will deliver in the entire year. Tesla just did in a month, and only from Gigafactory 3. Impressive. And Tesla probably produced about the same amount as they deliver. So if this is their run rate right now, that is kind of crazy, because remember, the factory was closed down for 7 days in October because of Chinese holiday, and they still made 55,000 cars. That's a run rate about 15 to 16,000 per week, or more than 2,200 cars per day. So if Tesla can keep up this production rate in November with a minimum downtime, we are looking at some big numbers here in Q4. They could maybe get as high as 70,000 in November alone. That is 16,000 on top of their 55,000 in October. And in December we have even a day more than November. But let's expect some downtime. So how about 65,000 in November and about 68,000 in December? That would add up to 188,000 in rough numbers in Q4 just from Shanghai. That is crazy. And in Q3 they delivered 129,000, so they would be up about 59,000 quarter over quarter. What a ramp. That would be 46% increase in quarter over quarter. And when we look at the quarterly numbers through the last 2 years, as Troy Tesla showed here on Twitter, that is a very impressive ramp. And the biggest ramp is still about to come here in Q4. Amazing. And Fremont did produce 108,000 cars in Q3, and they are ramping up Model S and X, so it would not be totally impossible for them to hit maybe 112,000, because then we would hit the very impressive number of 300,000 cars produced in Q4. That would be insane if they pull this off, and the earnings from Q4 would just be off the charts. That would really end the year off with the big bang we are all hoping for, even without the Berlin and Texas factories. And that would get Tesla above the 900,000 cars, something like 927,000 cars in total. That would be 85% in growth and about 427,000 units in growth. That is kind of what I expect the entire Volkswagen Group combined will be at the end of the year, about 430,000 BEVs sold. That's just Tesla's growth. Yeah, they're not gaining on Tesla. Tesla is moving further away. Everyone was just blown away by Tesla's Q3 numbers, but that was nothing compared to what is about to come. And speaking about what's to come, with a run rate of 16,000 per week, that would be an annual run rate about 834,000 cars. And we know Fremont can produce about 650,000 cars. Well, that is a production capacity of 1.484 million cars. So about 1.5 million cars just from those two factories. And what will Berlin and Texas add on top of this next year? Everyone with a target lower than 1.6 million next year is not keeping up with what Tesla is doing. Well, a lot can of course go wrong, but Tesla should have something like 2 million in production capacity next year. So for Tesla to lose more than 400,000 in production because of downtime, supply chain issues, just seems like a bit much. So 1.6 to 1.8 million next year should be very doable. Just amazing. But as I said, Tesla exported 40,000 cars from China in October. So let's talk about that, because that is quite a big deal. Because as Glenn showed on Twitter from Tesla Carrier's map, it almost looks like 8 of those ships are heading for Europe. As JPR007 wrote, 13 ships has been identified, 2 from Fremont, 11 from Shanghai, and in Q3 Tesla killed it in Europe. They were the best-selling EV brand, overtaking Volkswagen. Their Model 3 was the best-selling EV by far, and the Model Y, that has just had a little over 1 month of sales in Europe in Q3, came in as the 4th best-selling EV in Europe. But if you look at what Tesla exported in Q3, they only exported about 24,000 in the first month, compared to 40,000 here in October. And in the second month, in Q3, they exported 31,000, so more than the first month in the quarter, and in total they exported 59,000 cars. But if Tesla will export maybe something like 50,000 this month, we are looking at maybe 90,000 in export in Q4 versus 59,000 in Q3. And I do think most of those cars coming from Shanghai will be Model Y. Tesla has increased the Model Y volume over the Model 3 steadily over the last 3 quarters, and Tesla delivered about 11,000 Model Ys in a little over a month in Q3. So of those 90,000 cars cars, I would not be surprised if Tesla shipped about 30,000 Model Ys to Europe. That could make the Model Y maybe a top 5 EV in Europe in 2021 with only a little over 4 months of sales. Now that is what I call a nice entry to a new market. That would be just straight up kicking down the door. And Tesla is, by now, about 15,000 units behind Volkswagen brand year to date in Europe, but with all these cars coming from China, I'm still sticking with my prediction of Tesla becoming the best-selling EV brand in Europe. That will really be a big blow to Volkswagen. They have lost in the US and in China, where Tesla is just dominating, but if Tesla beat them on their own turf, even without any factory in Europe, well, I guess we will see a 2022 where Tesla will not just beat the Volkswagen brand, but the entire Volkswagen group. But Tesla has more cooking in China than just production numbers. Tesla China's Vice President Grace Tao has revealed in a new interview a Tesla vehicle designed and built in China could be on the roads soon. Oh, that is exciting, because I cannot see what else that should be than the compact $24,000 Tesla. What else would they come out with, right? And combined with the rumors of the new factory, because it was also Tao that denied the rumors about the factory being built in a new location, but what she said was, the information circulating on the internet about the location is not true. So she didn't deny the new factory, but only the location. And we got new rumors about a new factory in China this week. Tesla is likely to set up a second electric vehicle factory in Shanghai and could shift more of its components order to suppliers with manufacture site locally in China, according to industry sources. So maybe it is Tesla that is making construction just next to the Gigafactory, so they are not looking for a new location, but are just building out the existing one. Or maybe they have room in the Shanghai factory for one more production line, who knows. But Tao did also say Tesla expects to soon have 100% localized their supply chain, and a completely localized supply chain will allow Tesla to produce cars at record pace and for much lower cost, meaning increasing margins for Tesla that already have industry-leading automotive gross margin. And Ford CEO Jim Farley was out saying we can't ignore Tesla anymore. I made a whole video about it this week, so if you haven't seen that one, you should definitely check that one out. Also showing Ford has no chance of ever catching up to Tesla in production. If you want to know why, check out my next video, card in the corner. But I just wanted to add a few comments because this is quite a big deal. We had Volkswagen asking Tesla for help, and now Ford is out saying this. If we're going to succeed, we can't ignore this competition anymore. Look at Tesla. Why are they doing what they're doing, and what can we learn from it? So good they're starting to look at Tesla, but wow, have they been arrogant. Jim straight up says here that they have just been ignoring Tesla, probably just hoping they would die and go away, but they didn't, and now they want to learn from Tesla. Sorry guys, but this is way too late. Tesla's lead is too big and they are moving with the speed of thought, and Ford is hardly moving at all. And is now realizing Tesla is much better at making production much less complex. As he said, the production itself is highly differentiated from the rest of the ICE field and complexity is tiny compared to OEMs. Yep, Ford built an EV but did not make any innovation in how they make the car. But Tesla did. And Jim continued, Tesla maximizes use of electrons in the vehicle. No one does it better than they do. Their customers pay less for better battery. Wow, mic drop moment right there. Ford straight up says, buy a Tesla people, you'll get much more bang for your buck. Yes, the big boys are truly in panic mode right now because they have just now realized how far ahead Tesla is and that they can't catch up. So instead of fighting Tesla and laughing at Tesla and just ignoring Tesla, now they are all out talking so nice about Tesla, hoping some of that great Tesla brand value will rub off, and people might just choose a Ford over a Tesla if they are not talking trash about Tesla anymore. But sorry, Ford, I'm afraid you have too big of a task in front of you with a very little time to do it for you to come out on the other side. You ignored Tesla for too long. And Pepsi's CEO was out saying that they will take delivery of their first Tesla semi-truck in this quarter. What? The CEO of Pepsi did an interview on CNBC saying they will get their first Tesla semi-truck this quarter.
What are you going to do to be able to cut the emissions from that? Because it's a great asset, but it also generates diesel fumes. Would you be buying a Rivian product? Would you be buying somebody's trucks that use hydrogen? What's your plan?
Yeah, it's good, Jim. Actually, transportation is about 10% of our overall gas emissions, so it's important, and we're working on different solutions. As you think about, we replace our fleet regularly every 10 years, more or less. That's the life of a truck, and we're already starting to buy electric trucks actually from Tesla. I mean, I don't want to promote anybody, but that's the brand we're using so far, and we're getting our first deliveries this Q4.
So that was explosive news, since Tesla had said the volume production of the Semi was pushed to 2022. But I guess they will give Pepsi a few trucks, probably to test out in the real life before mass production start next year. And since this news has been all over the internet ever since, and Pepsi has not been out saying it was wrong what they said, and they meant Q4 2022 or something like that, I do think this is correct. Pepsi will get maybe a handful of Tesla Semi trucks from Tesla in this month or next month. That is huge. Firstly, I can't wait to start seeing this truck out there in the real world doing proper work. And also for Tesla to show all the critics wrong. But it will never be produced. Well, what do you know? Now Tesla is getting the first Semi out to customers, but electric trucks don't work. Well, Tesla has been testing this one for the last 4 years. I think they know what they're doing, and I can't wait for Pepsi to show us all just how much money they have saved, first of all, on gas and maintenance on an electric semi-truck. It will be much more than we save on the electric vehicles compared to the ICE car, and that is already amazing. And so much cheaper than the hydrogen trucks Daimler is working on, when Tesla shows the world that electric trucks are possible and can outperform ICE trucks. Daimler's new partnership with Total Hydrogen is going to look like a big, expensive mistake. And we did also see the first semi-mega chargers up at the Nevada factory that looks a bit like a big version of their urban supercharger like this one. And we do know that Tesla installed one for Pepsi as well. So Tesla is getting ready for some move with their semi-trucks. This is going to be so important, and I can't wait to see the first deliveries. And Hertz wants to revolutionize the way we rent cars. Like when you're coming from an airport and then you just go straight to your car and go. And before we have the real robotaxi, that is actually a very good idea, and Teslas would be the perfect fit for this. As Elon said, cloud profile is coming, so when you rent a car with Hertz, you just make a Tesla profile if you doesn't have one, and when you arrive to the airport, the car knows it's you and you just get in, and you don't have to wait in line at a counter anymore. You just find your car and go, and the car are preheated to your preference, and all the settings are set to your Tesla profile. This would just make renting a car so much easier and convenient, and be a much better experience than it is today. And as we know, Tesla will rapidly expand their supercharger network, and they're not kidding around. The Baker Supercharger in California first opened in 2017 as one of the largest in the state, with 40 version 2 supercharger stalls, but now Tesla will build an additional 56 stalls, probably version 3 superchargers at the location, adding up to a 96 stall supercharger station. Now that's a charging station, not Electrify American's 6 stall station. No, this is what we need, especially if Tesla shall be able to open up a busy place like this to other EVs. Because remember, Tesla will not open it up if the station is too busy, but 96 supercharger stalls, that's a big one. Only beaten by Harris Ranch Station, which have 98 stalls. And Tesla Charging on Twitter did officially announce they have now over 30,000 stalls worldwide and counting. Not slowing down, only speeding up. And SpaceX launched another crew mission to the ISS with the Crew 3 mission. And everything did of course went as planned, and the 4 astronauts made it safely to the ISS. And if you want to learn a little bit more about the astronauts, go to SpaceX Twitter account. They have these 4 small but very good 3-minute videos about the astronauts themselves. And just look at how slick the mission control looks now compared to when they launched the Crew 2 mission. Impressive improvements, and the Crew 2 astronauts did come back to Earth this week as well, and they came in looking like a slow shooting star. And SpaceX also had another successful Starlink mission this week, sending up 53 more satellites. They just make it look so easy, but just remember, they are still the only one that knows how to do all of this. And speaking of Starlink, SpaceX updated the Starlink website with the new image of the rectangular user terminal. Don't know why they changed it to a rectangular, maybe because this will save them a lot of room in the packaging, so they can make the boxes they come in much smaller. And SpaceX now provide the internet to over 140,000 customers in 20 countries. Man, this is growing fast, even though SpaceX says production has slowed due to chip shortage. And unfortunately, NASA delays SpaceX Luna landing to 2025 instead of 2024 and blame it on Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin's lawsuit. Well, thank you so much for delaying progress, Jeff. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla Shorts. Tesla is now officially licensed to sell power to retail customers across the state of Texas through a company called Tesla Energy Ventures. And BYD is growing smooth and steady with their new energy vehicles, adding another 10,000 NEVs to its production capacity every month. It is not exponential growth, but a good, solid upward trend. So far, they have sold 411,000 NEVs, while 226,000 of them being BEVs, so not bad. Yep, the Chinese are growing pretty fast. The roughly $1 trillion infrastructure package passed by Congress provides the spark to build a national network of electric vehicle charging stations. And Tesla's Model Y became bigger than Mercedes in the Chinese high-end SUV market. Not EV, but flat out. Taking the top spot, but not only that, Tesla also overtook Mercedes-Benz in the US luxury vehicles registrations in 2021, taking 3rd place from Mercedes-Benz. And to think back that Mercedes actually purchased almost 10% of Tesla for only $50 million in 2009 and sold it in 2014 for $780 million. And that would be worth something like $230 billion today. What does that tell us? And more bad news for Daimler, because Daimler was busted for 8 illegal emission control defeat devices in the diesel emission scandal. Another OEM that thinks that it's just a-okay with releasing toxic gases into our air in the name of their profits. Just like Fiat Chrysler that pled guilty 2 weeks ago. It is getting harder and harder to root for your survival, guys. And good news for Tesla's Cybertruck reservation holders. I have shown the Cyberlander before, a very cool camper, but now we have a new contender for the coolest accessory for your Cybertruck. This is not as small and integrated as the Cyberlander. This one is pretty big. You will get a great little micro home with this one. A very cool little camper. And we know Model Y rear-wheel standard range in China uses LFP batteries, but I think this might have made the car slower. It now says 9.6 seconds to 100 kilometers an hour. It was 5.6 seconds before. Good thing you can buy the acceleration booster right there from the Tesla app. But no wonder LFP is the battery Tesla is going with their standard range product in China, because we can see that it is the battery that is scaling up the fastest in China. And Fred here is selling his 2021 Ferrari F8 Spider because, as he wrote, my Plaid is too good and does a million things that my Ferrari can't. Yep, Tesla made the old supercar obsolete. And if you look at the most valuable car companies on the planet, well, Lucid and Rivian are already some of the most valuable car companies on the planet, despite Rivian have delivered something like 200 cars and Lucid maybe 10. This is kind of crazy. I guess they can thank Tesla for this high valuation. Seems like any new EV startup just get crazy high valuation because people think they will be the next Tesla. But Rivian only expects to be at 1 million cars in 2030. So again, not really competition to Tesla, right? And so far they are just a car company. So bit of a crazy valuation in my opinion. They have a lot to prove. But let's take a look at Lucid's factory's parking lot. Yep, even here Tesla is dominating. And do you remember this?
Really want waypoints. Okay, does everybody here want waypoints? Alright, fine, we'll do waypoints. God damn it.
And now Tesla delivered on Elon's promise. We will get waypoints in the new over-the-air update 2021.40.5. Oh yes. Damn, I like owning a Tesla. And Jane Shanghai shared this great picture showing just how convenient it is having a Tesla. We see all these cars covered in snow, but the Tesla has of course preheated the car in the morning, making the car ready to go, so you don't end up doing dumb shit like this. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say it just one more time. Damn, I love owning a Tesla. And we did see Tesla making some new wrapped colors that they have been saying they would do for the Chinese market in some places. Nice. And Jeff Bezos' wife was all over Leonardo DiCaprio, something Jeff didn't seem to like too much. Yes, she came in with the second richest man on earth, but looked like she was ready to leave it all for Leo. But at least Jeff had some good humor about it. But I do think in the seconds she was talking to Leo, Jeff did feel like this.
Jeff who?
And Volkswagen's CEO Herbert Diess wrote on Twitter that Volkswagen's new goal is getting their Trinity program to produce cars in just 10 hours, just like Tesla's Model 3 does today. But the Trinity platform will not come out before 2026. So at that point, Tesla will definitely be producing cars twice as fast than that. Yeah, like I said many times before, they will never catch up to Tesla, and Volkswagen just confirmed that once again. Their target in 2026 is to be at where Tesla is today. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to give a quick shout out to my newest patrons and members of this YouTube channel. Greg Gibbons, Walt, Stephen Findlay, None of Your Business, Tom and Greta Gemrot, Isaac Balint. And I thank you for watching, members. Roland Dufili, John Paul Van Flet, something like that, Brian B, Gerard de Montesque, Tom Rath, and my Be Nice and You Are member, David Blatt. Thank you so much for your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this show. Thank you. And a big and very special thank you shall go out to my supporter of the week. And the supporter of the week is Derek Simpson. Derek is one of the patrons that have been with me the longest. He has been a patron of mine since November 2019. So thank you so much, Derek, for 2 awesome years. You, of all people, know just how much this channel and I have evolved over the last 2 years. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. A little advice for your morning routine I found on the internet.
Did you know if you replace your morning cup of coffee with a nice hot cup of green tea, that you can lose up to 87% of the fucking little joy you have left in this life?
That is all we have time for in this new show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help out this video a lot. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. If you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support, and if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel and get your shout out on this show. You can also become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out and some extra perks. Hit the members button to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter. I tweet all the news as it comes out and more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. Now it's also possible to support the show without buying anything, becoming a member or a patron. There is a link to donation options in the show notes. But going forward, I will be making more videos for patrons and members only. And I will give my YouTube members and patrons early access to my videos whenever possible and make my videos ads free for members and patrons only. So don't miss out. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.